So we're going to start out with Ryan Hood is going to show EZWrite 6 and talk about EZWrite Live. So he's going to kind of talk about what you can do outside the classroom. You know, let's say it's a snow day or an e-learning day, something like that. That's what Ryan will be demoing, and then I'll show what you can do at first without a PC, and then then what you can do with the computer, including how to work with the students and distance learning students in hybrid classroom.
Let's check it out. Looks yes, like it. Can everybody see the EZWrite Live login there?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, everybody. So this is an awesome option for everyone that, like Bill said, might have a snow day, might have outside of classroom needs. So what we can do, this is a free service that we offer with BenQ. You can actually do it right now if you want. So you can actually sign in with a free account with the BenQ service here. And what this brings you to is a virtual version of our EZWrite 5 software that's on the board that's behind Bill. We wanted to make this available for more people, so we created EZWrite Live. What this allows you to do is a free whiteboarding software, so at any point in time you can just start writing directly on it. So I can write my name, kind of very silly with with a mouse here. We can do lots of other things with EZWrite 5. We can do like post-it notes. We can actually import certain documents from your PC to show. We can do multiple pages, which is great option for you. We can do different backgrounds. We can do music bars and notes. A big favorite is graph paper, actually, for all the math teachers out there. And with this, we can invite different students with this room ID. This is very important. So the teacher at the beginning of the day can say, hey, this is my room ID virtually on your Chromebook, MacBook, whatever you have, and they can join this session remotely from wherever they are. So quite literally, you guys can join this session during this webinar with me all the way here in Texas to start learning. So within this, we do have the option to also do recording. So right down here, we can literally record the screen that we're on. And what it does is tell you which screen, so you don't, if you have multiple monitors, just do that exact one that you want. It technically is sharing, but what it does is it's actually recording. So at any point in time, I can come down here and hit stop sharing, and then it saves it as a basic video that you can send out to your students later. You also have the save option down here for saving as a PDF to your local device. As you can see, I just popped it up, and now it's on my actual PC to send to my Google Drive, Dropbox, whatever you want. It's all there and available. And then, right here, once the students join, you can actually see all the participants that are in the room by name, and then you can hit the co-creation mode, so they can actually start writing on your EZWrite file right away from the board, virtual board itself, right inside of EZWrite Live. It really is a great tool for all the teachers and students that are out there for, just basically, we can't get into school. Let's get a whiteboarding session going and just start it up and get going. So with that, I can move on to our next software, which is EZWrite 6, and that is going to be out at the middle of May. So just a heads up, I have a quick little demo for you guys. This is EZWrite 6, not released to the world, but I have it on my Windows device here, so I can still do the same type of technology with writing my name. What's cool with this is I can even do like a circle my name and actually, oh, Ryan, almost got my name right. I'm ordering at Starbucks. That's what it looks like, Ryan. So it's kind of funny to have this availability to you with EZWrite 6. So we do have the pen tool. We have multiple colors. We even have a highlighter built in for putting text on the board and highlighting that directly on there. We do have a text field box that will allow you to do all kinds of stuff with it. So we can actually bolden it, we can do italics, we can change the text. A lot of people wanted actually a lot larger text on the screens or smaller text, so we could actually do whatever we want with this, move it around, it becomes an object. So this is something that's really cool with the objects of the 3D boxes. You know, you can do all kinds of stuff with geometry in this. There's a lot of fun things to do in tools. What's great also is you see this little guy right here. I don't have it on me right now, but you can actually connect a document camera to your PC and then enable the camera, accessory camera, from it directly on your EZWrite page. So what that means is that you can have a small little window showing a document or, you know, like an object or something that we're physically working on as a teacher, displayed in EZWrite 6, and have the whiteboarding software available to you right there on the same exact screen. If you guys were also a Smart Promethean school district that's looking to change, we do have a IWB file opener. So very, very exciting with that, because we can actually open up any IWB file across the world and import it into EZWrite 6, so you can continue your lesson. If a teacher moves from a different area and they have all their material on from Smart and they want to move to here, guess what? You tell them we have BenQ. They can also do the same exact thing, so they don't have to rewrite all of their material, which is just a pain. So moving on, we do have, you know, a cool little toolbox here with a ruler, a compass, believe it or not, directly built into the software. We have a timer, which is great for like, hey, everybody, let's clean up. And then after, 5 minutes or whatever of cleaning up, it actually plays a sound and everybody can see and hear what's going on and what the time is directly right away. Another thing we have coming out is the new calculator, which is super hot, actually. There's kind of a fun thing, which is a scoreboard, so we can show what team has done what. You know, click through and see who gets the most points. So it's a lot of fun just for teacher engagement, having stuff on a board, like a chalkboard. If you have sticky notes on there, you can do the same thing with the EZWrite 6. Another thing that we have is something that's really cool, which is a scalable canvas. So I can actually zoom into this and show you different parts of the board. So a lot of math teachers were actually asking for this because they want to do like NASA-sized equations. But we just said, okay, we can do that because of the 4K technology that we have on EZWrite Windows and EZWrite Live, all available to you. Within this, we can still save everything directly on the PC with EZWrite 6, and that's a huge bonus for a lot of teachers that have missing students. Somebody's not here for the day, what have you, we're all catching up. It's all available within EZWrite 6, and it's very simple. So the way that I like to say it is that over here is how you save it and what you can open. This is what you can do, and this is how you want it to look with our customized backgrounds and even importing your own customized backgrounds. It's all available to you. It's not too complicated. Anybody that's a teacher, just give them about 30 minutes and they can figure out how to use either EZWrite 6 or EZWrite Web Live. So with that, I'm going to turn it right back over to, I guess, Bill to continue on.
Great. And how much is EZWrite 6?
It is for the low price of free $99. It is absolutely free.
And how about EZWrite Live? Is that also free?
That is also free, Bill.
Okay. I'm starting to get a pattern here. Okay, great, thanks. All right, so we've got those are free products that we can use to support you with remote teaching, distance learning. They'll also work obviously in the classroom for hybrid learning. I'll be showing you a few more things. I don't know if we mentioned at the beginning of the webinar that you'll all be getting a recording of this and a Starbucks gift card. I don't know if we had brought that up. If there's questions, use the chat box and we'll go ahead and get to those either as we go along or at the end. So with that, let me get into what you can do now once you're in the classroom. So I'm going to start out by mirroring my Right now, I'm not connected to the panel via hardwire. I'm going to wirelessly connect to the panel. I'm going to mirror what's on the panel to my laptop, so you'll be able to see my desktop better. So hopefully now you can see my desktop. So whatever I do to the panel, you're going to see. Usually what I start out doing is showing the software. Are you able to see my screen still? BenQ, okay. So here we've got some IT features that I'll show you real quick, and then we'll kind of go into the classroom. So when we start out the classroom, we've got a device management system that'll let you remotely turn the panels on or off, switch sources, load apps to all the panels at the district. I'm trying to remember how much this costs again, Ryan. I think it's free. So I'll just jump in. It's free. Anything's free. So we'll just make it easy. We won't beat a dead horse. But here's some apps that I put into my depository, like for example, Nearpod, and then I can load that to all the panels in the district or groups of panels. That's one thing in our device management system with the BenQ. It actually loads it onto the panel. Some of the competitors are trying to catch up to us. They can send the app out, but you have to go to each panel manually and upload it. So if I go here, you can change the sources. You can change the volume. So let's say somebody called and said, "Hey, my document camera is not working." Instead of going all the way out to the school, you can take a quick look and switch the source if it wasn't on the right source, and save a trip and look magic. The volume you can change remotely. You can change the brightness, that type of thing. Color, put up direct commands. So that's kind of our device management system. The other thing we have is Xsign, which is a free broadcasting software. Usually, if all the panels were in standby mode, I can send out a message, and it's going to automatically turn all the panels on, which is nice. In standby mode, you're not using a ton of power, electricity. Obviously, probably on the weekends you might want to turn them off, but during the weekdays you may leave them on manual mode. So I'm going to pick my panel, but I could pick every panel in the district if I wanted. I can create a schedule ahead of time if I want, or just interrupt it live. So for this one, I'm getting. So here I can either put in a text message, a scrolling text message. We can go to every panel, groups of panels, individual panels. Video, I could do a live daily principals announcement via YouTube, or I could have pre-recorded it and put it on the timer and send out the live recorded video to start the day. The image could be this lunch menu for the school. I can send out a file like a Google Slides that'll change pages with different links. But what I'm going to do here is just show how you can send out a template. So we've got a template we made for to start the day. Just remind the students, hey, kids, especially younger kids, make sure you wash your hands, you're wearing a mask, don't go hug your buddy for the young kids. So that's how the day could start. It's very intuitive in that you just touch the panel and the message goes away, and there's also a confirmation that you had seen it. And then the IT department will have a record of everybody that has went ahead and seen the message. So it could be something like, send Billy down to the office or something. His parents are here to pick him up. So now that the message has been seen, now the students can come into the classroom. Let's say the teacher's not there yet. It's not just a dumb board here. They can just take the pen here. There's an NFC Card Reader on the RP series panel and a tag on the pens. These pens are passive, so there's no batteries. But when you touch the pen to the panel, it will pull up our whiteboarding software, and they can start using that. The other thing is you can go to the connection here, and they could use the document camera or a computer, or wirelessly present from their Chromebooks or their devices. But they can't get into the system. So we designed this with three things in mind: safety, which is also healthcare, security, and simplicity. So we wanted to make it as easy to use as possible, low professional development time, everything intuitive, such as you saw this tap and teach feature with the back of the pen.
Hey, Bill.
Yes.
We just had a question come in from Eric. He asked, are there other device settings that you can change?
Other device settings that you can change. Can you clarify the question?
In DMS. He's asking in DMS. Thank you, Eric, for being on top of it.
Oh, okay. Ryan, do you know the answer to that, or did I miss anything in the DMS, the settings?
The settings are fairly simplified. It's more for like the hardware side of it, like the backlight, the volume, the actual, quite literally the physical input. You can change that. The time on and off is a big one. So you can do like a group setting and tell all of the boards to turn off or on at a certain time of the day. But that's what's available in DMS.
Yeah. But you can also do the software updates, right? You can blast out the software updates.
Yeah, blast the software updates, that kind of thing, yeah.
Yep. Firmware updates, you can tell them to firmware update. If anybody has a BenQ RP02 panel, there was an update about 2 days ago. And so you may see some features on here that you don't have or that you hadn't seen before. So these are new. We continue to update the panel with improvements. Eric, did that answer your question? I'm going to assume so. We can always talk after if you have more detailed questions.
He said, thanks for the updates. Do they need to be on? Do the updates need to be turned on? Like, do they need to be able to auto update? Or is that something that you have to manually push?
It's a manual push because we don't want you to auto update based on your environment. So we leave it up to you. But we can have it always available on DMS on the cloud for updates.
Right, because if teachers in the middle of a lesson, we don't want it to update potentially.
He also is asking, do the panels need to be on for the updates to push?
Yes, on or in standby mode is fine, either way for that, which is very common.
Okay, so let me go into the healthcare features, then the security features, and then you'll see the simplicity pieces as we go through it. So healthcare-wise, BenQ is the only panel currently on the market that is TUV and SIAA certified for antibacterial. It's the only antibacterial glass on the market right now. BenQ has a surgical division and a hospital, and we've brought that technology to the panels. It's certified against E. coli, streptococcus, various things like that. It's a 9H hardness, very sturdy. We've had I had a school where a special needs student threw a water bottle at the panel. It broke open, water came down. She turned it off, wiped it dry, left it off overnight. And the next day it was fine. So it's pretty tough. I have seen one broken though, where a kid just took a chair multiple times. Usually the kids love these because when I pull the demo out, they get upset. So I don't know what that guy's problem was, but broke it with the chair. But it takes a lot of effort, that's for sure. Some other features on this: we've got a low blue light mode, which I can show you, but it turns the blue light down. Blue light kind of tells your brain it's daytime, and can affect sleeping patterns. You're looking at it 8 hours a day. So we've had that for 5 generations. We've had the antibacterial for 5 generations. Other competitors are catching up on the low blue light, and even the phones have it now. My glasses have it that I'm not wearing right now. And the other thing is the blue light travels further towards your retina, and by having low blue light, it prevents age-related macular degeneration. We're also flicker-free. BenQ is very well known in the esports area with our BenQ Zowie gaming monitors. So the kids that are playing 12 hours a day on the computer, the flicker-free reduces eye fatigue. So these have flicker-free, antibacterial, low blue light. The safety with the glass being hard. Some other hardware features before we go into the unit. We talked about the NFC card, where you saw that you can take the pen on it and open up EZWrite for tap and teach. And we can also tap these NFC cards to it, and it's going to log you in, and I'll demo that soon. The RP has a USB-C in the front, regular USB, USB for a slot OPS. There's an optional OPS slot where you can add a flat PC in there running Windows or something else. We've got a HDMI and a USB for touch on the front, and then also on the side we've got 2 USBs for touch and 2 HDMIs. We've got a VGA for the legacy support, a USB 2 and a USB 3. Audio in. We've got audio out down here. RJ45 to be networked, and looks like a video line and a HDMI out. So you can go HDMI out to an existing projector, so you don't have to throw away your current technology, and anything that shows up on the panel will show up on your projector, including annotations. And it's 4K. This RP02 is ultra high def 4K, and any mode you're in on this model. We have an RE that'll be ultra 4K in some modes, and then just 1080p in Android, I believe. If I'm wrong, correct me, Ryan. But we've got the award-winning tray here. As far as the touch accuracy, I'm going to demo that when I open it, but we've got fine IR with zero bonding, which I'll demo. We've got 8 array mics here that are bi-directional, so you can record over a YouTube video or a movie and do lesson capture, and I'll demo that as well. And the remotes are nice. They've got a pointer on there, which you can't take a laser pointer to a panel typically, so it's built into our remote. And then we've got the spotlight feature where you can focus on something. It's got the freeze button, which several teachers have requested, so you can put the freeze on, show a page up there, and they could be doing their emails. There's the blank, all eyes on me, control the classroom, obviously the power, and there's a SAFI where you can give it voice commands, and you can also open up if you have multiple files. There's a button here where it'll open them all, and you can page through your various files. So that's kind of the remote. But now let's say the teacher walks into the classroom. They'll have their NFC card. They just tap into the NFC Card Reader, and they're ready to teach. So this is going to log them into their individual profile, which they can set up. They put their own wallpaper there. These can be taken off or left up. The apps that they prefer to use are here. Widgets, you can put widgets on there, whichever ones you want. So I could put this up here, which will give you the temperature. I forgot to mention, we do have the built-in sensors for in-room temperature, humidity, CO2. That was another healthcare feature I forgot to talk about. The CO2 sensor, if that gets high to red or something, you just want to make sure you open the window or door and let air in, because it just leads to loss of concentration and tiredness. It's not an emergency, anything like that. You can also take it off, as you saw. And then there's some pollution indicators and air quality indicators. So again, there's all the widgets that you want. You can just remove the widget by holding it here and dragging it, and then it'll be off the next time you log in as well. Or you could put it back, and it kept it. I could put on my agenda if I wanted. So I'm logged in. I've got my profile. You see my name there, my headshot. I can go into either AMS files or File Manager. They do the same thing. When I do that, I can connect to my Google Drive, Dropbox, OneDrive, map it to my network drive. If I there's a clip here, which means I'm connected to my Google Drive. So I've got my drive, a shared drive, and I could have a team drive. So I could have, Mr. Bilkey's third grade math class or something is a shared team drive, and, for second period. And then all the recordings and the assignments and lessons I can put on there. When the kids get home, the parents can review the lessons, if they forgot, some third grade math, which probably isn't likely, but they can get refreshed and then help their child with the homework. So it's kind of the student, parent, teacher community working together. But you can have files on here that you can pull up. So you can kind of see, kind of take a look at some of these files that I have on here, and then I'm going to log in as someone else and you'll see different files. So let me now log in as somebody else. So now, let's say I go to a different classroom and somebody comes into this classroom, because now with COVID, the kids are staying in the room and the teachers are moving around. So now the next teacher comes in, but in this instance, it's a substitute teacher, and I put a lesson together ahead of time for her or him. So I changed the account. It's going to be, looks like Sheldon Cooper is our substitute teacher today from The Big Bang Theory. So he's got his wallpaper back there. You see different apps on here, including EZWrite 6, which is coming out at the end of May for Android. Ryan showed you the Windows one. I also forgot to mention, besides that it was free, that with Windows, obviously, even if you have, the older models of the BenQ panels, they'll be supported with EZWrite 6 for Windows. So that's our way to support our legacy customers. And then EZWrite 6 will work on our panels with Android 8 or greater. So all of our current panels can be upgraded to EZWrite 6 for Android. And then EZWrite Live, is also is the web version that supports all panels as well at the EZWrite 6 level. So they've got the separate wallpaper, the separate apps. And then if I go over to the file manager, you'll see that we've got some files on the Google Drive. You'll see different files here. So, this one wasn't there on the other one. So this just shows how you can teach off of your particular one. And we can open up PowerPoint files. They'll be converted to Google Slides. PDFs we can annotate and open up. There's some certifications on the antibacterial that I've got on there. And again, they could be connected also to Dropbox, OneDrive, and Network Drive. So again, when you log into one, if you forgot to log out, it's going to log you out when you log into the next one, and you can set up, if there was no activity for a certain period of time, it'll log you out. And that's all for protection, for the security piece, so the students can't get in, they can't change the language, they can't see the files, the teacher's lessons, that type of stuff. So it keeps it somewhat protected. And by saving it to the Google Drive, obviously you can access it from home. You could use the EZWrite 6 that Ryan showed you at home, save it to the cloud, and then open it up from the cloud and work on it here. So that's another great feature. So let me go ahead and open up an app. There's free apps you can load. I mentioned via the device management depository, you can send apps to every panel in the district. The other thing I forgot to mention, this account management that we have, it's any teacher can go to any panel in the district. The competitors are trying to catch up to us. Some of them can only do 4 students per board, and they have to set up each board for four teachers, whereas ours is set up any teacher, any board. And those other guys charge as well. I think somebody else a couple of them have 4 at a max. So I think Promethean has 10 at a max. Smart, I'm not sure, possibly 4. So I know we're the one that doesn't charge for it, and unlimited users, ours is better and less expensive. Here is, so you can hear those speakers. Again, we've got the subwoofer, 2 15-watt speakers, a 16-watt subwoofer. So if I take my 2 fingers here and make a peace sign, it's going to pull up the BenQ floating toolbar, which is kind of like Smart Ink, where you annotate overlay. I can move this wherever I want. Multiple buttons on here. I could pick 2 colors, and I could be writing the 2 colors at the same time. I can use my hand as an eraser and erase. But this is the record button here. I'm not going to record here, but I will in a little bit. And I like this one, the camera. So if I act like a director and say, all right, I want to bring this into my presentation, I can do this. This could be a web page, something from an app, wherever, anything you can show up on the screen, you can capture the image. And then you hit this EZWrite button. And for now, it's going to go into EZWrite 5. And potentially when we have EZWrite 6, it would go to EZWrite 6. So there's this, and now I can take my pen and pick whatever color I want and annotate. So this is some type of a vein. And then I continue on with my lesson. That's how you import something. The other way to do it is I can also import documents from here. I can import images or files. So with EZWrite 5, we support about 15 pages. With EZWrite 6, we support about 200 pages. That's at least as high as I tested. A couple of things here. I can add pages. So I can add a page with a white background. So again, we've got the two different pen tips, a thick pen and a thin pen. And that's going to support us with dual pen. But for now, I just want to show how easy it is to annotate. Feels like you're writing on a chalkboard or a dry erase board. So the teacher that's really afraid of the technology, this will just seem like, hey, it's like you're doing what you've always been doing. And also the colors, maybe you've got a student in the back with visual impairments. Maybe they can see certain colors better. So we've got, we can do that. And when it converts, it should convert it to the color that you wrote in. So this may be easier for some people to see in the background. Let's add some more pages. So we've also got this plus sign. I can add any page. This we can add a music page, for example. That's pretty popular. Graphing pages, sports pages. I think one of the first ones that my local school purchased was for the PE class. And now you'll see we've got, we're building a lesson here. I can import files from the web, etc. As I showed you before. I can reorder the pages too. If I hold the page, I can drag it and reorder the pages before I save them. So let me just kind of log out of this and start a new one. All right, so let's go into, I think Ryan mentioned that in the EZWrite 6, you can open IWB.notebook, PDF. The EZWrite 5, we can only save to an open PDF and PNG. This is the share button, so you can share as a QR code. This is the lesson record button, so I'm going to go ahead and do a lesson record. And you'll see here, I'm going to use the built-in 8 bidirectional mics on the panel. Otherwise, I could use the remote control mic. So now everything I'm writing or saying is getting recorded. I can go to, I'm getting a call. Okay, so if I go to a web page as well, just to show, hopefully my camera is not, or my voice doesn't get blocked by the call. I can go to YouTube, for example, and let me just play something real quick so you can see that I can talk over the YouTube page. So he's talking pretty loud, but hopefully you can hear me. Okay.
Hey, Bill, we had a question come in from Braden asking, where can I find the release notes for my new firmware versions?
Oh, it's the release notes. I'll shoot that over to Ryan.
I thought I replied to that. I guess it didn't go through. The release notes are available whenever you go to update the board. You can actually scroll through them and find the release notes. And usually the release notes are bug fixes more than anything, and a lot of stuff that you probably didn't even notice.
Braden, did that answer your question? Oops, So now if I go to the user, substitute teacher 41, which is who I was, today is the 22nd, right? Wait, that shows the 7th, today is the 22nd.
And I'm writing.
So here's the piece I just recorded, just so you can see.
And also if I go to a web page as well, just to show, hopefully my camera's not.
And I just want to show you the bidirectional speakers will let me talk over the video.
For example, and let me just put something real quick so you can do that. I can talk over the YouTube page.
Yep, so there you go. So I can talk while he was talking. Talk over a movie, video, etc. So back to EZWrite. So that was the record feature. I'm going to save this for later because that's the showstopper, or I guess my favorite one anyway. Here you can see the pen. So I can get it really small, and that just shows the accuracy. You probably could barely even see it. Yeah, so you can see the dots kind of in the middle of that screen. If I go big. So that shows how accurate it can be. I can make the pen obviously bigger if I want it to. And I've got multiple colors that I can do. This one here with the X and the O, since I've got two different size pens, if I hit this, I can go into two different colors at the same time. Or I can put down the big tip pen and use the little tip pen in my finger, and I can write with the two at the same time. So that's the dual pen option. And also kind of shows you the fine IR. I've been at BenQ for 5 years now. I just hit my 5-year anniversary. And before that, I was at Epson for 12 years doing the BrightLink. And, I remember I would be getting the knuckle drag, or it would have already been picking up my finger by now. Whereas here, I actually have to touch the panel for it to pick it up. If I have a bracelet or a sleeve, it's not picking it up. So that's the accuracy of the touch, the dual pen, and the other piece would be the paintbrush mode. And I'm not the artist, and I can't do calligraphy like Tom Shee does, but here's, as I write thicker, you see it's thick, and then if I take the pressure off, it can be thin or thick. So I can do some art there. So that just shows the pressure sensitivity. I think us and maybe Smart are the only two that have paintbrush mode. Thing I wanted to show you on the panel as well, you've already seen how you can import the files, the backgrounds, the pages. If I go here to that gear, I can turn off the palm eraser because there's a special needs student that couldn't hold himself up, and now he can hold onto the panel and he can write. Oops, let me make it a little thicker. So, but the palm eraser is gone, so I can just go back here and go to the palm eraser, and now I can erase. So it did leave a few little marks over there, but at least he could use it. So that's something we built into the panel. We'll go here into the toolbox, and then I'll show you the broadcast feature for the cloud whiteboarding. So Ryan talked about the calculator a little bit in EZWrite 6, but here's our calculator. So I'm just going to make a quick problem: 3 squared plus 2 cubed squared minus 8, and then we give the students a chance to figure it out. Braden just said 281. Let's see if he's right. When I put the equal sign, we'll get the answer. The answer is 281. So he was right. We've got a math savant in the audience. What happens if we cube this, though, instead of square it? What will that do to the problem? All right. So what happens if we just divide this whole problem by 2? And then if we square that, divide it by 4. And of course, if I'm doing the lesson capture, all the changes I've made would have been recorded in the lesson. So that's the calculator. Oh, I forgot to show you. I mean, so if you're like me, you can't draw a great circle. Actually, that's probably one of the better ones I've drawn. Whoops. I ruined it. Okay, so now I can just circle the circle and do that. Do that 3 times and make a Venn diagram. I could make a square. Let's see what it does with this. Rectangle, I mean, sorry. If I go over here to the shapes too, I can make shapes here. Triangles are the toughest. Let's see. So I can export this triangle. Didn't convert it there. So there's the watch that Ryan may have showed, a stopwatch, so you could do laps, swimming, track, scavenger hunts, and keep all the various teams' times, or your laps for swimming or jogging, however you want to do that. Then we also have the countdown watch, as maybe Ryan mentioned. Hey, you guys, everybody, we've got 10 minutes to take this test. And I could be off doing something else, and the timer will keep working no matter what window I'm in. And then, you know, time's up. Put your pencils down. So you've got the countdown. Got the countdown timer, which is nice. Let's see. So we've got the sticky notes. You can make little sticky notes. And I think it sorts them by color. You play with it. So based upon where you're at, or the color, it would group them. So you can have different teams by color. Here we've got the scoreboards that Ryan already showed you. I'll just do 4 teams to be different. So I've got a randomizer here. So I can pick, 3 students. I've got a small class. Students between 1 and, I've got 18 kids in my class. So each number is associated with a student or a question. So student number 16, number 4, and number 5, please come to the front to the board. Obviously, when COVID's not around. Then I can do this where I can split the board into 3. And I can put a question up there, so I can say, hey, what's 2 plus 2, and paste it to all of them, and then at the same time they can all answer it. Okay, so Team D or Team C gets the 1. It gets the point. These guys got it wrong. So that's kind of how that would work. If somebody else would have tied, they would have each gotten a crown, and then when the next one got the question, they would take the lead. So that's some of the educational tools in the toolbar. So let me next show you broadcast, which people can join in on this one. So if I hit the plus sign by the face, I can invite people to my room. Each panel is its own room ID. So you can actually communicate panel to panel within actually anywhere, panel to panel, or you can go panel to device. So anybody that has a phone can use their QR code reader and scan this, and it's going to let you become part of the presentation. You'll see it on your phone. So I just sign in here, do that, and now I'm connected. If you don't have a QR code reader, you can just go to the EZWrite.benq.com webpage and type in that room ID, as long as I'm actively broadcasting and join. So I'm going to assume everybody that wanted to connect is connected. Right now you can see my phone. So I've got my daughter upstairs doing, remote schooling on the web. So my internet's a little slow, but let's see how much lag we get. Hopefully you saw there wasn't a lot of lag. And then the next question people usually ask is, can we also, write back or collaborate back? And one of our security features is, not at first, because we don't trust the students necessarily, but now I trust you guys, and I'll just have to control the classroom as I would normally with speech and everything. So I'm going to hit this, and now I can go into co-creation mode. And then anybody that had connected will see that now it's not grayed out anymore. So what I'm going to do now is, I could take a live picture and pull this in. I could pull a picture in from my device. There's a little sticky notes. Oops. And the sticky notes, again, just like in the other time, they're sorted by color. Somebody wrote up there in yellow. So it's hard to see. I'm going to write up in orange. Over there. And I can move these around too. So you can see, this is actually Buddy. This is Penny. Those are my sister's dogs. And then to stop sharing, I just go back to here, stop activities. And then when I do that, it gives you the option to download the whole lesson to the phone. So that's how students can remotely collaborate. EZWrite Live will have some more features for collaboration. But that's, so I could be teaching the students in the class and remotely at the same time for the hybrid learning piece. Any questions on the EZWrite Live whiteboarding software? Accuracy of the pens, paintbrush mode, dual pen mode, any of those nice features. So if I go over here now, anybody that's got an RP02 that hasn't done the update, you don't have this right here where there's the two windows next to each other. So when I click on that, I can now take EZWrite here, and I can go the Chrome browser here. Let's go to ESPN. Okay, yeah, the browser's open. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. Sorry, guys. All right, so here we can pick up anything. So we're gonna go. Oops. So my internet's a little slow here. So now I can write on it. Golden State won. Golden State lost. Sorry. Okay. But I can do two things at once. Everything I've done so far is not connected to the computer. The only thing I'm using my computer for is the webcam, and I'm mirroring everything that's on here onto my device. If I had my computer connected, hardwired via this USB-C, for example, I could put Smart Notebook over here. We have about 6 minutes left. Are there any other questions from anybody? I could show, let me just show how I can do Smart Notebook wirelessly with touchback. Is anybody there still? It's gotten quiet. Did I lose everybody? All right, so I'm just going to pull up Smart Notebook, and I'll just keep recording keep going because of the recording anyway if nobody's there. But I should be able to find Smart. So now I'm showing that I can wirelessly present Smart Notebook and have touchback. So actually what I need to do now is cast. So now instead of mirroring, I disconnect here, I'm going to cast. It sounds like now you can see wireless touchback. So you can see wireless touchback with Smart Notebook. Any questions? Because it looks like there's 3 minutes left or so. Feel free to email me directly with questions, or if you have some, throw them in the chat box.
Everybody's just saying thank you so much.
Oh, okay, great. I thought everybody was gone for a second there.
No,
okay,
we're all
great.
here. We were just muted.
Oh, okay. All right, great. Well, I appreciate everybody coming. You'll get the copy of the recording in a couple days. You'll get a Starbucks gift card in a couple days. Any questions, feel free to reach out to me, Ryan, Tommy, whatever we can do to help. So thanks. Have a great day. Thanks for attending.